Hey there, Sabrina here. When someone hurts you, remember this. I'm going to be sharing some revelation with you that the Lord has given me on the topic of how to handle hurts, betrayals, and offenses, and what our response should look like. I'm going to start with Romans 12:19, and it reads, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." We are called to surrender our hurts, our betrayals, our offenses to God in order to receive the perfect justice possible through Him. Now, I'm not saying if somebody commits a crime against you not to do anything. Obviously, if somebody does that, then you want to report it to local law enforcement and the authorities and the powers that be in order to exact judgment, because God will also use people in that capacity to render justice. So please don't misunderstand me in that respect. I'm talking about being slandered or being betrayed or when somebody hurts you, those types of offenses. They are to be surrendered to God. We are not supposed to seek revenge for ourselves. When you do seek revenge and you don't trust in God to exact justice for you, 5 things begin to happen. You will encounter anger, hatred, bitterness, unforgiveness, and pride. Now, all of these things are fruits of the flesh, and this is why God instructs us to surrender these situations to Him, because He doesn't want us to fall into the fruits of the flesh. But when you do surrender those situations to God, you begin to walk in joy, love, peace, forgiveness, and humility. And all of these things align with the Spirit and with the fruits of the Spirit. And just as a reminder for those who may need to hear it, Galatians 6:7-8 says, "Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." So we want to be sowing to the things of the Spirit. We want to be following the way that Jesus would. We don't want to be sowing into the things of the flesh, because then we will begin to reap the things of the flesh, and that's really not good. And 1 Peter 3:9 also instructs us not to return evil for evil or insult for insult. When you avoid these things, you will receive a blessing from God. And a lot of times we get into these arguments where someone will begin to insult us and then we go right back at it. And then someone will begin to hurt us and then we go right back at it. And that happens. We've all experienced that. And it's easy to do because arguments are one of the most sneaky ways that the enemy deceives us into walking in the fruits of the flesh. And we don't even know that we're doing it. This is something that the Lord showed me early on in my walk with Him, was that sometimes I just need to keep my mouth shut and walk away. And a lot of us just need to learn how to let the Lord fight our battles, because His justice is better than anything else that we could do. A lot of times you'll see things happen to people who have hurt you and betrayed you that are pure God. They really are. And you couldn't even dream of doing anything as great as God's judgment, because His is perfect. And His comes at the perfect timing, and it is poured out in the perfect measure. And so we just have to trust in what He is doing. Trust that He sees everything that has been done to you. Trust that He knows all of the hurts and the pains that you've gone through, and that He wants to exact judgment for you. And He will do it. So remember this: when someone hurts you, you want to reap the things of the Spirit, not the things of the flesh. And know that God has got you, He sees you, He understands you. And there's nothing that you can go through in this life that Jesus did not experience when He was here on earth. And I find great comfort in knowing that Jesus understands everything that I've been through. He has experienced it. And the same is true for you. So I hope that this has blessed you today. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and look forward to seeing you again next time.